Good evening, everybody. My name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Alexa, what's the time?
The time is 4:50 p.m.
It's 10 to 5, guys. It's 4:50, which is 10 to 5. Good evening. I'm here in my flat in Rochester, which is in United Kingdom, England, for my foreign viewers. It's not been too bad today. I'm just going to recap what has gone on today. I am a victim of gang stalking and harassment, and I just try and get on with my life as best as I can. And I'm trying to play them at their own game, which is completely ignore them, pay them no attention whatsoever, and just get on with my life. I'm not scared of them, they're irritating, they're just irritating, that they harass you 24/7, they're irritating more than anything else. So I got up this morning and usual time just after 8, and I fed my pets, made my lovely cup of herbal tea. I've been banned off live streaming from TikTok for 7 days. I'm not the only one. It's happening to loads of people for silly reasons, just getting banned for saying something slightly, just ridiculous reasons as well. I can't actually see what I did wrong because the video they've given me won't play back. So I can't go live streaming on TikTok till the 29th of May. So it was actually calming me down a bit. I was talking to people and I was happy. I was listening to music, calming down, coming back off the field after a stressful walk, talking to people, relaxing, and then it started to get bombarded with trolls and people just coming in being spiteful. And there's a little button where you can switch off people talking, which I didn't know about because I was new to it. So if it happens again, I won't fall into that trap of answering trolls back. They can call you names, but you can't say anything back to them. So a bit like television where you can't swear. You have to be careful when you go on TV. You've got to be careful what you say on a live broadcast. As we all know, presenters in the past have made big faux pas and errors where they've accidentally forgotten they're on live and they've sworn. So it's a bit like that, really. It's all new to me because I've never been on live television, so I don't know. So I got up, got dressed, fed my pets, made my drink, uploaded my video to YouTube. Then I waited for that to upload. There was a bit of noise coming from upstairs at that point. Just kids banging about. I did not retaliate once. I didn't say a word. I didn't swear. I didn't bang anything. I just got on with my day and ignored it. This is what happens, you see. They get fed up. They went out early. Got fed up of being, if you don't retaliate, it's boring for them. And they go. So that lot of nuisance went after I came back from a walk this morning. That went. I went for a walk. It was okay. I just keep myself to myself because I don't trust anybody, not after what happened to me about a year and a half ago. I still get the feeling I'm being followed about by this bloke's mates and people that he knows, but I just keep away, keep to myself, don't involve myself with anybody, don't go up to anybody, don't talk to anybody. I know it's bad, but I'd rather be safe than, it could be one of his mates, even a woman be one of his girlfriend's mates. So I came back from a walk, and the newspaper came, the Mail on Sunday, and it was all creased, and it pissed me off because I paid for that. I paid for extra to have that delivered, and it was in a terrible state. The guy just left it on the floor and walked off. I did tell him to leave it on the floor, but I no wonder he left it on the floor in the first place. It was in a terrible condition, and it was left like that. But it was like that when he brought it, because I went downstairs straight away when he rang the buzzer, when he told me that the paper was there, went down and got it. So it was like that. Nobody had done anything to it. He delivered it in that state. After they went out, I ordered myself some shopping from the Co-op, and I got myself a salad. It was really hot. It was really lovely though. I've eaten it. I ate the salad, and I got myself a few bits, drinks. I wanted an ice cream. They didn't have an ice cream. Fair enough. These things should say out of stock, or it shouldn't be advertised on their site. Never mind, no ice cream. I've been refunded £4.75 because you pay for things and they're not there, which is misleading. Normally they substitute something, but they didn't even replace the lolly, so I've got my money back, so I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. A quarter of my order was missing. I went and had a shower, not because I was called Stig of the Dump, because that's absolute bullshit and rubbish anyway, but because I wanted to have a shower, and they'd gone out, and then I just felt like I wanted a shower. Yeah, because all the alarms normally go off when the steam comes into the room, and I don't want all that going off. You know, it tells other people you're in the shower, doesn't it, really? So I had a shower, lovely it was as well, relaxed, and I just let my hair dry naturally, but then it was still a bit damp when it was time to take Max for a walk this afternoon, so I dried it with the hairdryer. So basically I stay inside my flat. I have now shielded, I've put a shield down so I can't see outside what's going on out of the window, because I've got a frosted, it's like a frost affected like cover that's covering the window. I can't see people outside. I don't want to see them, so it's all down there. I can't hear them either because the windows are shut, and especially when the fan's on, I can't hear anything anyone's saying. A lot of people that live stream or people that do videos say the same thing. There's a heavy noise in the background of the video, so you have to shut the window. So that's that. So I can't see anything outside. It's all down. I can't see anyone. Right? So as usual, when I'm sat with not speaking, when I'm not doing anything, everybody's quiet. I can't hear a thing. When I start to speak, it goes crazy. People start shouting, people start banging, people like, you know what I mean? Why can't I speak? I'm in my flat. Why are people going crazy when I'm talking in my flat? For goodness sake. I'm in my flat. I should be allowed to speak in my flat. They go crazy. You've got all sorts of things happen, and I'm just trying to keep myself focused on what I'm doing rather than listening to external noises, which is difficult. So I stay in my flat, yeah, and I just read the newspaper, eat my lunch. I had a shower, make a cup of coffee, try and keep myself occupied in my own home, and then I take Max out just after 2 p.m. and there's noise, there's a hell of a lot of noise, but I still go out, go down the stairs with Max, go out, and there's just one woman in a yellow like top, yellow sweatshirt, yellow top, and I'm pretty much wearing leggings, denim jacket, baseball cap, sunglasses, yeah. And this woman has got I think 2 curly haired dogs, and they're off the leash, but they're like old and they're walking slowly, no problem. So apart from her and one jogger that came up the path and went back down again, there wasn't really many people apart from people near the crane, and I could smell smoke and fire. But it's not my business, I just carry on walking. I could just smell burning by that crane because they've set fire to mattresses before and it stinks. So as I was coming home, right, I was coming home with Max down the back of the flats opposite, and there was these 2 cars like next to each other, 2 women, and I think one woman was black, one woman was white, and the number plate of the black woman's car was FAT, F-A-T. I'm very observant, and gang stalkers know you are. They know what triggers you off, they know what upsets you, they know what grates you, and they want to make you look nuts and mad, and they want you to react to it. So there's an argument, so I have to go, and it was a woman, it wasn't a man, it was a female, and she shouted across to her mate, "Oh, I'm going to go to Aldi and get some food." And the number plate of her car had the word FAT in it, F-A-T. Now what they tell you to do when you're being gang stalked is to completely ignore them, don't even acknowledge they're there, don't look at them, don't stare at them, don't point a camera at them, and that's what I did, I just walked past and ignored it, came into the building. They were blocking the road because I can't see too well, and they do that as well. It obscures my vision. I can't see if cars are coming down up there or down there or whatever. So yeah, it pissed me off. But because why people's wait all the time? I mean, there's people bigger than me and they go around with a smile on their face. They couldn't give a shit. Why are these women picking on me and my weight for? Because I'm really not bothered with it, to be fair. I've had 4 kids. I'm nearly 60. I'm not really bothered with my weight now. So what the hell? Keep calling me fat gut and bothering with my weight for? It's my body, not yours. I wouldn't worry about it. You can't see them because they're hidden in their cars. You can't see their body. So they're fine ones to talk, aren't they? They're obscured. I can't see them. I came into the flat and I thought, right, no, we're not reacting to any of that. We're not, I just want to sit down and relax. It's Sunday, for goodness sake. So I didn't get upset or anything. So yeah, my mum called this afternoon as well. She called before that incident. She called the phone before that incident. I don't get into anybody's cars. No, I haven't recently. I walk everywhere, take the train or the bus. I don't get into people's cars. So I came into my flat. I just listen to music to block their crap out. They'll bang the wall, they'll say things out their doors. I just put music on and ignore them. Because I've had somebody constantly send messages on TikTok. I've had to block about 3 more fake profiles. I just block them because I'm not live streaming. I can just, it comes up, so and so has followed you, and I block it. One with my father Derek's name in it, I block that. They do that to upset me because my father's dead, so they keep subscribing to my channel as Derek. And what, with no followers and no videos, you're called Derek, are you? So we've had Derek, and yeah, I've told you, pie face, fat guts, we've had it all. But they just get blocked and taken off. And they must get tired, honestly. It must hurt their hands, keep fiddling about doing shit with them. What a waste of time and space to keep getting blocked and ignored. It's pathetic. I can't live stream, and I haven't live streamed since 2 days ago. And I can't live stream until the 29th. So you can rip my videos, you can take my photographs on Facebook. I mean, it's not going to get you very far because you ain't me. You never will be in a million years, and why you would want to be me, I haven't got a clue, but there you go. Sad and pathetic. So we've had this, the weather's been changeable. We've had the sun out, we've had winds, we've had spots of rain. Typical British weather. So I don't know what the weather's going to do tomorrow, bank holiday Monday. I haven't got a clue. Alexa, LBC radio.
LBC London is in global play.
Come on.
The DBT have 40 days before they have to make a reply. In fact, it was actually 65 days before they replied to the initial claim, and they offered me 1/3 of the initial claim.
On the basis of what? Do they have to explain why they're offering you so much less than you've been advised that you're entitled to have?
Yes, they do. So they send a letter back with the claim, with their offer, and then it's all broken down into various heads of loss.
Right.
And they have a paragraph as to what they've offered. Sometimes they've offered what we've asked, sometimes they've offered nothing, sometimes they've offered a percentage of. The biggest one that they did not, were not prepared to offer what was asked for or was claimed for, was in the loss of earnings
Yes.
Category. So obviously that was quite disappointing, but I did know about Sir Alan Bates' situation then, so you kind of think, okay, we'll sort of gird your loins and wait and see what happens.
Yes.
But then what happens is that you have then a period of time where you have to gather more evidence to support your claim again, and the lawyers and the forensics accountants go through the whole thing yet again, do more work, and then you submit the claim again, and then they have another 40 working days before they have to make...
Henry, how many years ago was it that you were accused wrongly of embezzling this £20,000? When was that?
It was in December 2013.
Right. And you know, you have done nothing wrong, and it is clear to all that it was the computer system, not the post mistresses and some postmasters that were responsible. You were blameless. You did nothing wrong at all. You have been the victim of something that was not your fault. It is a scandal. That's why people are scandalised. It's horrifying, it's wrong, it's terrible, and it's been done to you, and it wasn't your fault. So on what basis are you being made to wait like this? How can this be the way to treat somebody whose life has been trampled all over and it wasn't anything that they did wrong and they did nothing at all to deserve it, and everyone now knows this, even people who weren't aware of it before or saw the play on ITV, they understand what went wrong. Everyone knows it was appalling. What the hell are you supposed to be waiting for?
Well, the machinations of government departments, really, isn't it? The DBT, which I don't know what it stands for exactly, Department of Board and Trade or whatever it is. They have now been renamed, but they were the department who were actually largely making the decisions that were incorrect in the first place. So in that essence, they are the ones where not all the blame, but a certain amount of blame lies, and yet they are also the ones that are deciding what gets paid, which is a complete ridiculous situation. But also, every time a government changes, it's almost like, oh well, that's nothing to do with us because we weren't here then.
So the clock gets turned back. So do you think Sir Alan Bates is right to say that there needs to be a specific department that doesn't change according to the tide or the wind or with government, and is designated purely to make these compensation payments and expedite them? Because certainly with Windrush, there was an official statement, wasn't there, from the Home Office saying, we will expedite this, we will hurry this, we will urgently make sure that this happens, and it hasn't. The payments have not happened. I mean, I'm only, a journalist covering this stuff. It's not like I'm an expert on any of it, but in all the years, talking to the victims of the blood scandal, the Windrush scandal, and the post office scandal, people's lives were absolutely nuked. You don't need me to tell you this, but people listening maybe need to be reminded, their reputations in shreds and tatters, their marriages and relationships completely wrecked, husbands and wives turned on each other. And in the post office situation particularly, people saw that there was a deficit, a shortfall in the money they were meant to have made, and they couldn't find the money. They would start selling their mother's engagement ring, they would start selling their house, they would remortgage to pay back, and it wasn't their fault, they'd done nothing wrong. And it's relatively easy to see the amount of money that you need to be compensated, isn't it? It's not a difficult thing. Plus, it's not a limitless number of people involved, it's a limited number of people. So everything about this feels desperately unfair, doesn't it, really?
Yes, it does. It is unfair, and I mean, obviously, I'm just concerned with the post office, but I totally agree that a completely independent body for when another ghastly situation arises, who are totally independent of government, because at the end of the day, all of these things, Blood, Windrush, all of these things, Grenfell, they are all linked to the government of the day.
Yes.
So there is, they are partially responsible. So if you are trying to, put blame somewhere or put responsibility somewhere, then you've got to be doing that as an independent. You can't be part of the government. And as you quite rightly say, if it was totally independent and didn't change every 4 years or whatever, then you would get a consistency, and you'd also get learned and experienced people such as Lord Arbuthnot, who I believe is on what is part of the powers that be with regard to this compensation. But people like that who are independent, who can stand back and be objective rather than entirely subjective, which I'm sure most of the people that are sitting around that table deciding, or actually not, what are they doing? 40 days? I mean, there's, with the post office one, there's about 242 of us, I believe, whose claims have not been given out.
Would you mind, Penny, just saying what happened to your life after you were accused of embezzling £20,000, just so people can get a sort of handle on the destruction of this scandal?
Yes, but I must say that compared to Grenfell and the blood scandal and Windrush, it is nothing in comparison to that. So I'm well aware that
Although in the
it was
post office scandal there have been suicides, there has been lots
of
of
course
lives.
there have, yes,
and
of course there have.
and situations where people were spat at, where
Yes.
they were shunned by their own families, they were
Yeah.
shunned by their own wives or husbands and children. They were made to appear to be untrustworthy.
Yes.
Many went to prison, for God's sake,
Yeah.
for something that they hadn't done. So no, it's not. You can't compare scandal with scandal. And why would you? It's just that the blot on people's lives was really something most
Yes.
survivors of the post office scandal tell me they can just never get them back. They can never
No,
recover
you
their
can't.
life.
I mean, I'm standing in my house and I'm looking out the window, and I happen to be looking at in a tiny village in the bottom end of Cornwall, which is where I live. I had the shop which is attached to my house, and I had the pub which I can see from the window. And so we were we were very involved in the community.
Yeah.
When they came and shut the branch down and said I'd taken £20,000, that definitely made me persona non grata in the village for a very, very long time. So that shut the post office and the shop. It also, because I was made bankrupt, shut the pub because you can't hold the licence as bankrupt. So I was evicted, or not evicted, I had to leave, and then the pub was empty. And it doesn't matter whether people aren't interested in necessarily the truth.
Yes.
What they see is, oh, our shop's gone, our pub's gone, our this, that, and the other, and they put the blame somewhere. And it's very difficult to live in a small community, and I'm sure other people would say the same thing. It's very difficult to live in a small community, and live through that.
Yes.
Yes, of course, I suppose I could have moved. I couldn't have moved because as a bankrupt, you can't do anything. It's very difficult, even in this day and age, it is very difficult to move forward from bankruptcy in the initial instance. I have small children. If I'd sold the house and made any, gained any financially from it, it would have gone in my bankruptcy. So we were stuck. And that, even now, however many years later we are, 10, whatever it is, it's still a stigma. It's still, we're not where we were before it happened, which is the promise that they made to us. We want you to be in the position you were in before the event happened.
Penny, thank
you.
you. Thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it. Penny Williams there, former sub-postmistress in Cornwall, made bankrupt after being wrongly accused of embezzling £20,000. She hasn't received a second offer yet, and her life, as you can tell, has never recovered. She's very brave about it, but her life has never recovered. 0345 606 0973. Sir Alan Bates, as in Mr. Bates in the post office, he has said there needs to be a special body, a brand new one created to expedite and facilitate these compensation claims. We're talking about scandals, the Windrush scandal, the blood scandal. We're talking about Grenfell, which is a tragedy, which is also a scandal, and we're talking about the post office scandal. Do get your calls in on this one, 0345 606 0973. If you've been affected by any of these scandals, afflicted by any of them, if you've just been watching on and just been horrified, if you feel that another body would just be another body clogging up the works, not a good idea, or you think it would be a good idea, get in touch, 0345 606 0973. Looking forward to talking to you, and it is over to you. And I'm Vanessa Feltz. It's 5:17, and this is LBC.